Hey, True Believers England team here. It's time for the Gabbies, man. It's been a while. It really has. It's been a while for these. Usually we do one every 6 months. This is the first time, I have to say, in 2 years that we've only done one for the entire year. And this time, though, you gotta forgive the fact that we're year-end heavy because not a lot came out during the COVID lockdown. Okay, I know. You know what I'm saying. They actually shut down the comic book industry. I know some of you are in places where they've already locked down again. But if you guys are wondering, well, there's only 5 people here, so more than likely you guys know. But I'll say it anyway for the people who are watching the second time. This is our version of the razzies for comic books. We needed it. And besides, the Eisners, which we do the Spirit Awards also, talking about good books, the Eisners are almost like the razzies anyway. It's like, what's the most political? And so we figure, you know what, we need something where the viewers are picking the nominees, the viewers are picking the winners, the whole 9 yards. It's going to be a lot of fun. It always is. My razzies happen when I'm tallying up the votes, which we did. Breen decided to join in and help out, so we'll be doing that tonight. And let's say hello to Trusty Sidekick. How you doing in the chat here? Maranya, of course. The glaringly awful and god-awful also apply. Yes, I always say the god, spelled G-A-W-D, just like she put it there. The god-awful bad book yearly awards. Barker, hello, Maranya. Today I bring my Star Wars collection. All right. Let's see, and they're talking about the Thrawn stuff. I'm actually surprised Thrawn's not kicking. You're not seeing the speculator crowd go crazy for Thrawn right now because it was mentioned in The Mandalorian. Yeah. Alrighty. So anyway, once again, these are the you guys voted for the nominees. You voted for the winners. We're going to get through that in just a sec. Roberts hailed Zeno, and hello to you. Hello to Joe Rogers. Into disguise. I now miss the cotton candy machine he used to be in. You know, just a pink curtain thrown over it. It would be fine. Have you guys tried this Sprite cranberry?
No.
No, it's not really good. All right, you're not touching Thrawn right now? Okay. Why are these not the Robert, the reason why they're not the Visaggio or the Tamaki Awards is because Gabby Rivera, national treasure Gabby Rivera, wrote a book so horribly brilliant, so god-awfully bad beautiful. I ended up this channel's growth was thanks to my reviews of America Chavez written by Gabby Rivera. So I have to pay respects to that. I absolutely do. And that's why we got that. All righty. Luke, I won't stop them, but I'm pretty sure YouTube will. So in all honesty, yeah, please don't get my channel shut down because you want to make a political statement in a group of people who actually agree with you. This isn't it. Saying it here is not going to be brave. That is absolutely the truth on this one. Gabby Rivera Lifetime Achievement Award. Well, we do have a new. I always like to throw out like an extra special. Like it doesn't really have anything to do with anything, but I just thought it up at the moment. So we do have a new award called the Failing Upward Award. Tonight we've got VENKMAN, who's going to be hanging out and helping out with the commentary and such. This guy's let's she's a treasure, so let's bury her. I guess the comic book industry already did. She had like 2 issues of that comic before COVID, and I don't even. It was like BB something.
BB Free.
BB Free. That was it. Yeah. Nobody bought it. It lasted 2 issues.
Now Mariko Tamaki is a star of comics.
Well, we'll see about that. All right. You know what? Oh, I was just making a joke, but cool. No jokes unless my candidate loses. You know what? That would I hope the candidate does not lose. That somebody's got to listen to the proof. That's all I'm saying. And I would love Twitter to acknowledge the fact that what they're saying is contested is actually contested. Anywho, all righty. So let's get to this.
I think he's talking about his picks for tonight.
What?
Yeah, if his picks don't win.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I got it. I am sorry. That went so far over my head. I apologize.
I hope I win the Powerball tonight.
Yeah, or it went through my. All right. So let's get this started. We're going to start off with you, Breen. What do you have for us? First category nominees are.
All right. Worst fall from grace. Comic book character.
Creator. Oh, yeah. Creator, dude, not character.
Creator. That's right. Never mind. The nominees are Chip Zdarsky for Daredevil, Jonathan Hickman for X-Men, Jeff Johns for Joker War, Christopher Priest for Vampirella, Donny Cates for Venom, and the winner is Jonathan Hickman.
And dude, this was not even close. I'm serious. This is I got to look at the numbers, but this may be the one that was voted on the most. No, there is one more that got more votes than Jonathan Hickman did for this. The next one down is less than half of the votes Jonathan Hickman got. That is how bad, at least this crowd hates what Jonathan Hickman is doing to the X-Men. Oh, okay. I thought you might have a comment.
Oh yeah, I said I got this one wrong because I didn't even give this one a shot.
Yeah,
I knew going in it wasn't going to be for me. So
it doesn't matter. I know who's going to win this. It was. In all honesty, I do not do any ballot stuff because actually this is the fun part to me is finding out who wins.
Well, for me, the reason I voted for Hickman is because, yeah, Bendis has ruined Superman, but has it entirely been bad? Probably not as much as Hickman's ruined the X-Men.
Well, the thing is I think Bendis has made mistakes with the character.
Yeah.
Destroyed. He's changed the X-Men to the point where they're not the X-Men anymore. Professor Xavier is not Professor Xavier. He completely redid the X-Men in a way that
they're assholes.
They're unpleasant. They're nobody you want to root for. They're nobody you want to cheer for. The person who got the least votes on this one, Donny Cates.
I mean, I want to put them on an asteroid and launch them into space. We have Planet X-Men. That's what I want.
No, that's weird. You compare that to Bendis, but Bendis has been
somewhat better.
Well, no, I'm not. I would never.
I'm not saying Superman's great, but I'm saying at least like he still married the Lois, and he's not a villain.
Well, yeah, but I was going to say Superman, was in sorry shape when the year began.
Yeah.
So it says he's been doing it for 2 years. So I guess that's why he didn't even get nominated this year.
Yeah. That is Gabby Rivera, Dragon Ball. Man, you guys are young. All righty. So next up, we've got the worst fall from grace character version. And the nominees are Batman, Iron Man, Batman for the changes and more of the Joker, Iron Man, Moon Knight, of course, Age of Khonshu, John Kent, I guess, for being aged up, and Professor Xavier. And the winner is, this might be an X-Men night, gang, because it's Professor Xavier. My choice, first we got to talk about Professor Xavier. When I first read the X-Men, he was a villain. That's how I read it. He's no longer the guy who wants to bring mutants and humans together. They completely said, they had Professor Xavier say that Magneto's right.
Yeah.
Because what he did, he created Genosha. In all honesty, he just created Genosha. It's on Krakatoa. That's all. It's the same freaking thing. They completely 180'd Professor Xavier, and it's to me it was pretty gross.
And at this point, yeah, when this got going, it got to the point where people said, well, unless they turn out to be pod people, and this is all a big swerve, this is terrible. But at this point, it's been going on so long, I'm not sure that's where they're going.
Yeah, and you know what? I thought that was an out for him. You know, that Krakoa was doing something to the mutants. And I thought that was his out. You know, he can write it that way. And then, yeah, it was no. Maranya saying she almost voted for Professor X, but my guy got no respect in this category, which is what's normal at Marvel. She voted for Iron Man, who I can absolutely understand because Iron Man, like Captain America, has not been seen in a decade.
Yep.
Jerry's asking why is he stuck in a ridiculous helmet? Because the guy loves Bendis and he wants him to be just like what's his name? The Reed Richards from Ultimate Fantastic Four. I can't remember not Master Planet. What was that his name? The Ultimate Reed. He's come back. He was just in absolute carnage. He's the evil Reed Richards.
Don't read Marvel. Couldn't tell you.
This is when you were reading Marvel, man. Back in the day. The Ultimate Fantastic Four, when he went evil, he put on the helmet on.
I think it happened in their reset, the Secret Wars 2. The Ultimate Fantastic Four, Reed Richards went nutso and gave himself another name, and he's having a hard time remembering it.
It drives me nuts. I can remember his Maker. That's what his name is. The Maker.
The Maker. Okay, yeah. So there you go. Professor Xavier won that one. The one that got the least votes was Moon Knight over at Agent of Khonshu, I believe it was. I myself still I voted for Batman because and my first thing was that they haven't written a Batman story, like just Batman in forever and a day, and now they kind of had them when you have Batgirl yell at him, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right, what do you have? Number 3, our third category.
Most overused character. And the nominees are Batman, the Batman Who Laughs, Joker, Venom, Captain Marvel, and the winner is the Batman Who Laughs.
Which even though people are enjoying this version of the Dark Knight Metal, Batman, the Joker Who Laughs, gets the win on this. It's not necessary for him to be in everything. In my opinion, some villains are one-offs. And I think Batman Who Laughs, like, don't bring back Doomsday ever again. Not necessary. He can go into the ether. He did his job. I feel the same way about Batman Who Laughs because we already have Joker.
Yeah, well, at this point, though, the Batman Who Laughs is, I mean, he's not a character. He's not a villain. He's an entity. I mean, he could one-punch Galactus if they crossed over. I mean, he's so... You look up OP in the dictionary, and there he is.
I wasn't a big fan of the first Dark Knight's Metal, and then they had him go through Teen Titans. They had him go through that mini series he had, and I'm like, guys, you're overdoing it with this character. He just seemed to be everywhere, and even with this Dark Knight's Metal, he took over. The funny thing is Joker got nominated as well, but it's just that Batman Who Laughs. That Batman Who Laughs. Go ahead. I was about to say the next ones down once again were less than half of the votes than of Joker. It was a tie for second between the Joker and Captain Marvel. So think about that also. DC, it might be time to retire the Joker for a little bit.
Yeah, I went for the Batman Who Laughs because he basically went from being like they got him captured and then like he talks his way out. He pulls a Lex Luthor with the goddess, whatever it is, the one that's charging all this crap. It wants
Perpetua. Yeah,
now she feeds on Crisis energy so now, and he's like her herald. I'm thinking like Galactus is a girl now in DC Comics, and we got an annoying herald. The Batman Who Laughs should have been done within like a year. And that's it.
Yeah, I like Jerry Smith saying, wouldn't it be better to call him the Batman who can't see through these spikes? Yes.
the Batman who can't read his own font.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Dang, I
horrible.
could have sworn Captain Marvel would have won that one, says Zach Richards. Is not the original Iron Man dead, and this is a clone? I'm actually not quite sure on that.
He died in Civil War II, and they brought him back. And was it Bendis's or
No, I thought that was he was in some sort of coma or something like that.
He was, and then but they cloned it. It turned out to be a clone body because he had no hair and no beard. It was a clone body that they made. And they put his conscience, the AI put his own conscience into the body. It is the same thing with Black Widow as well, and with Rhodey, because Rhodey was dead as well.
Okay, so let's see. LK saying I'm 0 for 3, so am I, basically. Maranya saying, boo, I demand a recount. Batman is more overused. He's like the glitter of DC Comics. He's getting into everything and everywhere. Maranya's got one. I went, guessed one, right? I went with Joker, but my sentimental favorite is Captain Marvel, says LK. I think the Joker should be the winner, says Daniel. He's getting his own ongoing. There's 3 Jokers, Joker War, White Knight minis, and all the Black Label minis with Harley. And a disguise is pulling the Trump. He's looking for legal means to overturn. Yeah,
I think
let's not pick lottery numbers together. Let's see. Yes, I'm sure they are retiring the Joker after announcing a new miniseries, says LK.
Ongoing.
I've seen March 2020, but 2021, I bet you. The 16 related Bat family books. Yep. And let's see. Captain Marvel by far based solely on the fact that Captain Marvel sucks and shouldn't be used at all. I would, and I'll just remind, I don't think they're bad characters because remember in the 2000s, Carol Danvers was kicking ass in her own Ms. Marvel series.
Okay, I have a challenge for you, sir, for 2021. Remember your If I Wrote Them series?
Yeah.
Okay, write me a good Batman who laughs.
Okay.
I just want to point out
you know how long it takes me to do commissions. So let's.
I was just going to, before you go on to the next thing, I was just going to say for category 2, worst fall from greatest character, if that was for the past decade, I'd say Iron Man.
Yeah, but he took a header just in 2020 with this new series.
Yeah, that
was 2020. Literally, they gave you the year that he was going to suck hard.
Yeah, that's true. For the decade, though, I'm afraid I would insist Captain America be on this one.
Yep.
For worst fall from grace for the entire decade has to be Captain America. Alrighty, so next up we've got the worst crossover event of the year, which in all honesty, got to admit, it's limited because of the situations here. And the nominees, Year of the Villain from DC Comics, X of Swords from Marvel Comics, Empire from Marvel Comics, Year of the... I had that down twice. Okay, it doesn't affect it. And Iron Man 2020. And the winner or loser is X of Swords. The ongoing that we are... Is it still going? Because it seems like it's still going.
It must be.
I don't know. I feel like I'm somehow winning this. This was a vote thing here. I don't know how but somehow I'm winning.
You're getting all of them right?
I never get them right, except for number 2.
Okay,
so I'm down by 1.
I have read some of X of Swords. I haven't read all of X of Swords, and I chose X of Swords because I've read it. It really, yeah,
But it's basically, isn't it fear itself? Instead of giving them a hammer, you're giving them swords, and they each have different swords.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, the warriors for Earth get swords, and they've got to go off and they've got to defend Mutantdom or Earth or something like that. And it's and mind you, the only chapters I'm getting are the Alex Ross covers.
Yeah.
So I'm not getting the full story, but it's just every time I'm reading one, I'm like, who are these people anymore?
The whole concept. Why do they need freaking swords? They have powers.
I hope no one is playing a drinking game. Oh, if I was looking for something to do that with, by the way, to play a drinking game tonight and do a drunk stream because, I need money. But unfortunately, there was nothing I could drink at because I was at the grocery store. I wasn't,
But guys, feel free to vent your frustration with this whole entire voting thing here with super chats.
Say again?
No, I want them to vent their frustration through super chats tonight.
Yeah, that would be nice. Super chats are always nice. Yeah, that'd be good.
Right, monetize your temper.
That's right.
For Eve's benefit.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. Thank you. All righty. So what's up next? What's up next? Oh, are we going to talk about any of the others? Okay. I will say this. The next one down, because this one got 9 votes. The next one down got 7, and that was Empire. And then Year of the Villain with 7. So it was a tie. And the one that got the least votes was Iron Man 2020.
Yeah, I just realized you have Year of the Villain on there twice.
Yeah, I mentioned that. I combined the votes.
Okay.
It still doesn't affect it. Yeah. All righty. So what you got there, Breen?
All right, worst storyline. And the nominees are Joker War, Batman titles, Age of Khonshu, Avengers titles, X of Swords, X-Men titles, and Sins Past, Spider-Man titles. And the winner is X of Swords. And wait, Kanye West just came up on the stage. He's grabbing the award. He said, "You won enough."
Yo, I just want to say that Marvel made one of the greatest crossovers of all time. This was somewhat of a close. Race right here. Only 3 votes separated the two. Marvel was not going to be coming out of this smelling like any kind of rose, because if it wasn't X of Swords, it was going to be Age of Khonshu. But yeah, what can we say more about X of Swords? It sucked. It really did freaking suck. This is another one I did vote for, even though I nominated Joker War. When I thought about it, I thought, which one am I going to go back and read?
But yet at both my LCs, the rich one and the cheapy one I go to, that's selling off the shelves. People are buying them, and they're asking for reprints. I come in there and see, you're like, do you have any more X of Swords copies? You know.
Well, the thing is, and this is telling. My shop, the Coliseum of Comics here, they have tons of the 3 Jokers on the shelf because they ordered tons.
Oh yeah,
they didn't order a lot of X of Swords because they know not a lot of people are going to be getting Marvel. They just they sell more DC than they do Marvel. It's really something. You just see a lot more DC on the shelf because they order more.
Well, I think the average order, at least you could order it, is like 10 issues. They don't let you go any lesser than that.
Now, looking at this list, Eric, what do you think is the one that got the least votes?
I would hope it would have been Joker War.
I think it's Spider-Man.
I think Venkman's right. Joker War is the second least, but Sins Past got none.
Sins Past, like I said, I don't care for Spencer, but compared to Hickman, he's a saint.
Nobody voted. 4 people voted on the Joker War. No one voted that Sins Past was.
That's right, guys. Spider-Man's the best in this category.
Right, yeah. Spider-Man's the best title ever. All righty. Next up.
You want Spencer writing it.
All righty. But I will tell you this. Sins Past is not the only item in any of the categories that got 0. There are 3 in the next category that got 0 votes. And it is worst comic book movie. And the nominees are Birds of Prey, Deathstroke, Superman Red Sun, New Mutants, and Bloodshot. And in all honesty, I could have stopped at Harley Quinn and the person.
I know. I was like, just stop there.
Now, it could have been just because nobody saw any of the other movies. That came out when movie theaters were still open. Even Bloodshot came out where it was a little bit iffy to go outside. People were getting a little nervous because we didn't know what we know now. So I get it. And New Mutants came out as, like, I think Florida was open. So I know I saw it, but I don't know if you guys were open. But it is on like the streaming service and all that kind of stuff now. So I get it. Not a lot of people have seen that. I know some people don't even know that a Deathstroke movie came out this year.
And that movie was not great itself. I struggled watching through it. Yeah. I struggled watching it, but I was like, Margot Robbie wasn't even Harley Quinn, so that's to me at least Deathstroke was Deathstroke in this movie.
So someone voted for something else, and by that I mean of everything. This is almost a unanimous vote for Harley Quinn. I'm not kidding. There is only one dissenter in the group. We will find you. Now,
meetings probably.
So now there were some people like Breen who are like NA. I didn't see any of them, so I'm not voting. Okay, fine. But everybody who did vote, only one person voted for something else, and that was Superman Red Sun.
Really?
Yes. Now, and I can understand why. Because as bad as Harley Quinn was, Superman Red Sun altered the message where Superman is almost the hero of this story, where the communism is great and Batman is the it's amazing that happened. If you watch that movie, is almost offensive. I actually almost voted for it based on the offense. The Birds of Prey, starring the emancipation of one Harley. No, I'm not going to read it off. They changed it to Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey.
Zach, Deathstroke movie was actually, it wasn't a live action, it was animated, and it came out like in, I think it was out Walmart, Target, stuff like that. You could have bought it. But yeah, I think it was back in like early April, June, or March, sometime around there. Was not, and it, yeah, it's not a good movie.
Indie Comics Jones going, I got one. I picked one right. Black Phoenix, Birds of Prey, no contest. Bloodshot was actually kind of fun. New Mutants was more of a miss than a bad movie. Deathstroke, still haven't seen it. Superman Red Sun, though. You know what? I challenge you guys to watch it seriously. It is just it will make you sad in your comic book place.
This is the best Gabby's. I'm 6 out of 7.
All right. There was a Birds of Prey movie. I voted for the Harley Quinn film, which is accurate. The opening scene monologue of which opening scene monologue Birds of Prey was literally 15. It was horribly bad. It just, God, yeah. Harley Quinn, the movie, guest starring the Birds of Prey. Oh, guest starring somebody, but they ain't the Birds of Prey.
No, it was Margaret Robbie and her friends. That's how it was.
Yeah. All righty. What you got next there, Breen?
Worst graphic novel, one shot, or single issue story. The nominees are Aquaman, You Brought Me the Ocean, Marvel Voices, Indigenous Voices, Immortal She-Hulk, The Other Side of the DC Universe, and Batgirl 50. And the winner is Marvel Voices, Indigenous Voices.
That was
by one vote.
Who voted for that crap?
That is well, this is worst, by the way. Yeah, by one vote, Indigenous Voices won. It is and it deserves it. It really is. Actually, someone in my comment section gave a comment about the Indigenous Voices. It was I've got to read this off if y'all don't mind. It was let's see, the one that got the least vote was Aquaman, You Brought Me the Ocean. But what is it? What is it? Oh, okay. I've got to. Here we go. Here we come to save the day. But he's apparently an Indian, or okay, it's not showing me. But it was something, because this guy went off. Apparently, there is a lot of racism in this book if you're an Indian. So yeah, they were not happy with it. And it's really bad. That, in all honesty, I only read the first story. I didn't have a lot of desire to keep going. I guess I could break down the other stories, but I broke down that first story. It was like a 15-minute video just to get through the one, and with all the jokes and all the crap I found in it. Obviously, I don't know the culture, so I couldn't speak on that. But damn, it was bad.
Yeah, I voted a little differently. I voted for Batgirl 50 because you didn't know what I was going in. It was going to be bad. And at least in Indigenous Voices, you knew it was going to be bad. So
I voted for Batgirl 50 as well. Now it really was 9 for indigenous voice. This was a very category. The only because really you had 3 books that were really in contention, and the other 2 got a few votes. Like Immortal She-Hulk got 2, and Aqualad Brought Me the Ocean got 1, probably because nobody read it. The Other Side of History got 6, Batgirl 50 got 8, and then Indigenous Voice got 9. Now, Batgirl 50 is what I chose.
Oh, here it is. I found it. Your comment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Do you want me to read off his name?
Yeah,
Larry,
not the name, but I mean,
okay.
Well, it's there, so anybody can find it. But
Larry Wolf is the YouTuber. He says, "I have no idea how Marvel Indigenous Voices isn't on the worst brick list. It is definitely the worst book as far as how awful Batgirl was, and it was. Voices was filled with blatant racism and sexism and disgusted me, and I am a freaking Catawba Native American."
There you go. I would never actually call any Indian a Native American.
I know, but that's what he wrote.
There you go. Yeah, I know. I understand I'm losing. I lost that battle, but nobody is native to this land. And why would you call anybody the name of their conquerors? Doesn't make sense. Right. It just does not make sense. All righty. Yeah, but the other one that did very well was the DC's The Other History of the DC Universe, which...
Yeah, personally, I think the other side of the DC Universe in Marvel Voices, or as Jerry put it, I am currently reading Marvel Voices, doing voices of voices. Those are, to me, Batgirl 50 was amusing and kind of, I mean, I didn't find it offensive. I found it just, if you, it just kind of, it was a bad writer inserting herself into the character she was writing. Those other 2, those are pretty much offensive across the board.
Yeah.
Which I understand.
That is almost where you understand the white women who run Black Lives Matters. And you're like, wait a second, I do kind of feel offended for other people when I read it. Places.
It's just saying what Batgirl was doing so great, and then that last issue, it's like, holy crap! Like, did they put a whole new writer in her?
Yeah. Well, the thing with Batgirl 50 me though is I was touting Batgirl. Remember, I was like, yeah, for some reason, Cecil Castellucci's doing Batgirl well.
Yeah.
And then Batgirl number 50 comes out, and I'm like, okay, last issue. Oh, happy Englentine at the comic shop. I'll take that Batgirl 50. Actually, by the time I got there, I already heard.
Hashtag blame Englentine.
But, dude, I had no clue what I was getting myself into. When I read that, I'm like, yeah, what are you guys doing here? I mean, she joined Antifa in destroying a statue and then convinces Commissioner Gordon that Antifa is the right side of history.
Oh, yeah. Again, I said it was fun for us to roast and make fun of, but it's kind of hard to make fun of the other 2 books I was talking about because I said that because you can make fun of Batgirl and all you're gonna piss off are 20-year-old white women that are running BLM. But the other ones I said, those are slippery slopes, and depending on your perspective, they were either the way the future should be or just god awful.
Yeah,
there were plenty of chances to vote for Batgirl 50 later on. Anyway.
I do agree that Commander in Crisis. I liked Commander in Crisis up to a point, and then you found out that it was a Benetton ad. It's really ridiculous. I am the president of. No, it wasn't that. It was I am the first gay president of my world, and I am the last survivor. I am the first black woman as a president of my world, and I'm the only survivor. It just so happens that these worlds got destroyed, and the only people who survived are a social justice warriors dream team of superheroes. Go on ahead.
When they showed up and said, hey, would you like our help? I'd be saying, nah, I'm good.
I'm reading off LK's comment. Is he saying that February you're supposed to get a new Marvel Voices? And I'm thinking, like, that's the one they're going to do Black History Month, aren't they?
Yeah, that is Black History Month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what we're gonna get there. We're gonna get all the stuff we get normally. Everything else is gonna be all in comic book form.
It will probably be a lot of fun because these books are not good. All right, so next up we have worst miniseries, and the nominees are Alienated, James Bond, Rorschach, Overwatch, Strange Adventures, and the winner is by a small margin. Oh wait, no, holy crap, we have a tie. I just saw that we have a tie. Oh shit! Oh, we have the winner is Tom King, dude. We have a tie between Rorschach and Strange Adventures.
Really?
Yeah.
I was more offended by James Bond.
Well, I read the first issue of Rorschach and decided I'm not finishing Rorschach. And
at least Rorschach didn't really offend me.
I pretty much did the same with Strange Adventures. I and Alienated. In all honesty, those three are the books I've read on this list. Overwatch is another book that got 0 votes. But Eric, between these two, Rorschach and Strange Adventures, did you read both?
I read the first issue of Strange Adventures, saw what was coming down the pike, and said, I'm out.
I'm out.
And so I didn't even bother with Rorschach. But of the 5 here, I read 1 issue of 1 book. So I figured that qualified me to vote.
Yeah, you can vote on them all now.
The great thing about Rorschach, number 1, Rorschach's already dead in the book.
Rorschach is Tom King also, right?
I hope he was dead in the book too.
They all are.
They all are.
Hey, seriously, after reading all these books he's been doing the last 3 years, is anybody in any big hurry to meet Mrs. King?
Is there a Mrs. King? I think Tom's married to the Burger King.
I get this feeling. that Mrs. King is at home. Of course, I can't do the hair, but it's unkempt and it's up, and you got that one curl going, like if she only had like a mousse or a brush maybe, and she's sitting there going, "Shut up, just shut up." Every time Tom King goes into the room, he doesn't even have to say anything. She's like, "Just stop talking. I swear to God, life was good before you."
I'm seeing her as the wife in so many of those old EC comic stories, and you all know how those stories go. And let's say at the end, Tom gets caught, but that doesn't do Mrs. King any good.
Why do I think at least once in their relationship she said, "I thought I was supposed to be the bitch"?
Tom was like,
Okay. Let's thank you very much. Zach, thank you very much for the super chat saying all these books are ghostwritten by Tom King. Well, Alienated, this was one that was proposed and nominated by just some guy. And I agreed with him. I seconded this book because this is, I understand kids and young people today, they deal with their cell phones and all, but this is a cell phone comic. And this is one, it's basically, once again, an SJW's dream where all the bad stuff are happening to the people they think bad stuff needs to happen to and all that. It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild.
And in all honesty, Tom King's like a crappy, really crappy version of Miracle Man, and Big Bart is probably his wife, and she's just calling him an idiot all the time.
Are you talking about Mr. Miracle?
Mr. Miracle.
Now, a lot of people like the first part of that, so I'll give it its day in court.
I'm saying since then he's just been like, it's like Deceased, where like he has about Novardi, he's just kind of a loser, you know.
Well, Mr. Miracle is the only book that's ever won a Spirit and a GABBY award in the same miniseries.
Yeah, because the first half came out and everybody was loving it, and they just went nuts, and it won the Spirit Award for Best Miniseries. And then 6 months later, we did the Spirits and the GABBYs, and people were shitting on that book and everything, man. So yeah.
What's up, Hendrix? What's up, Nerdette?
How do you do? How do you do? On Rockin' Records in the house as well. Mrs. King won't let Tom be out after 9. I just think it's, he starts talking and she's just, "Oh, please shut up. Or she'll just be sitting there, while we watching TV. She'll go, "Shut up. I didn't say anything." Oh.
Or she's sitting there with the rolling pin.
You know how those old DC writers wrote bondage comics? Tom King does bondage. All righty. Let's see. And the first 6 issues were good, says Nerdette. All righty. Let's move on to ongoing.
Worst ongoing series. The nominees are X-Men, Superman, Captain Marvel, Legion of Superheroes, and Iron Man. And the winner is, say it with me, kids, X-Men.
Yes.
It is an X-Men night, apparently, ladies and gentlemen. Not a lot of love.
Can you guess what the next one is? Based
not-
on tonight's votes?
Not a lot of love for Hickman and his X-Men, in all honesty. We're going to run out of things to say about this. So, okay, I do have to admit, when we talked about it, we were like, okay, you know what? I saw it coming, that if we just let it go, we would fill this up with X-Men titles. So in order to avoid that, I said, let's just have X-Men kind of stand for all of the mutant titles. When Cable came out, this is like, I guess, at the beginning with the whole X of Swords, he actually finds a sword. This is how bad this is. This is how bad, especially Cable was. All right, so they're running around Krakoa, and they come up against this monster, and the monster is angry, and he's chasing mutants, and Cable said, you know, he's showing off for the girls. Oh, I'll stop the monster. Yeah. And, you know, he goes in, kind of gets knocked around a little bit, but then he discovers the problem. Between the monster's toes was a sword. So Cable pulls the sword out. Like, it's the freaking Mouse and the Lion story, you moron.
So now he's got a pet monster
here. Oh, next up in Cable number 2, they wrote they're gonna write Old Mother Hubbard with Cable as the lead.
There's only one thing I have to correct you on. It's not Cable.
Well, Teen Cable, whatever you want to call him. Point being, the little boy they were drawing as Cable, they put him through the same story, the lion and the mouse and everything. And I was like, good Lord in heaven. There's no effort. There's no effort anymore.
The real Cable died last year.
Hey, it's almost getting to the point of you got to be insulted. Are you a Marvel fan? You have to be insulted by what they're doing with the X-Men.
Well, we'll find out what the next category is. What the answer to that is.
Breen, what did you think of this whole thing?
I have an observation. We condensed 15 possible choices into one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I can see how that might win, but how does Captain America avoid even being nominated?
I know that is something.
How bad was 2020 if he can't even get on the list?
You can't even, and Captain America is pretty bad. Now the next one down, and it only won by 1 vote. This was everybody spread the love here on this one. The next one down was Brian Michael Bendis and Superman.
Wow.
Yeah, not a lot of people like the whole revealing the identity thing.
At least it ended.
And the removing of the family thing. And then after that was Legion of the Superheroes. So if you actually combine votes, Brian Michael Bendis did lose this did win this category. Because Legion of Superheroes and Superman would have put it at 11. So, yeah. And the one that got the least votes is Miranya's boy. So Iron Man, yeah. All righty, gang. Next category is worst publisher overall. You know what publisher is putting out the worst books per cap? And the nominee is. That just kind of tells you how this voting kind of went. Marvel, H1, DC Comics, Miller World, and Vault, which might as well not have been on here. Nobody voted for Vault at all. Only one person voted for Miller World. Only 4 voted for the company that brought us the gem called Ignited. And then you have the next one up, and that was DC. And out of 25 votes, DC got 5. And I just told you that Vault got 0, Millar World got 1.
Yep.
And and H1 got 4. So yeah, Marvel pretty much won this handily. There's not much to say about it. I mean, for Christ's sake, I can't come up with a top 10 Marvels you should be reading right now.
And that's the thing, though. I think a lot of us we're all Marvel fans, but like it hasn't been Marvel. It's just been like crap. We can't even read. I'm barely struggling by, just to try and catch up with Spider-Man because it's my favorite character. But I'm like,
you want to keep up, but then you think, why? Why are you doing this? Now, I've got to say, there are books that I'm enjoying from Marvel. I like Juggernaut. I think it's a fun miniseries. Problem, miniseries. I like Daredevil, but the last few issues have not been as strong as others. That's not to say it won't pick back up. It's happened before. Remember, I was talking about how they were writing Kingpin as not the Kingpin, but then it picked up again. It could do that. It could do that. So I'm not giving up on Daredevil yet. I think Juggernaut's pretty good. But overall, what is there? I mean, I don't want to fucking see Wolverine and Cyclops in a freaking 3-way with Jean Grey. That is not what a love triangle is, you freaking idiots. And by the way, and if you are a gay person or a bisexual or a lesbian is gay, but if you are in the alphabet, as they say nowadays, why does every freaking character have to be gay these days? It just doesn't make sense. It's not even that many people. There's not even that many gay people out there when you take over the entire population. We get it, and that's what's one of the things you're messing up when you do that with the X-Men. Is the X-Men is supposed to be everybody. When Breen and I were growing up, the X-Men were literally anybody. You didn't have to step up and tell the gay story. You didn't have to step up and tell the black story. You didn't have to step up and tell, because the mutant story was your story. Even if all it meant was you were this gangly, nerdy teenagers hanging out with all of his friends, reading comic books at lunchtime, which probably didn't help your social status. But you could identify with it because everybody has that feeling of being an outsider. Everybody had that feeling at some point in time like they didn't fit in. And that's the beauty of the X-Men. They were anyone. So when you focus a storyline on one group of people, it's literally cutting the X-Men in half. It's not taking them to their full strength. If I wrote the X-Men, I would get rid of all identity politics that we know out in the outside world, because being a mutant is all you need in the Marvel universe. And these writers just don't get that. Sorry for being on my soapbox, Eric. Sorry for that, Venkman and everybody, but there you go.
I just want to kind of ask a question, serious question, for anybody who actually wasn't following any of the X-Men stuff, especially the love triangle between Jean, who I thought was a minor, because there's the only ones from the past that we came to the future. It's not the original Jean Grey, where she's adult, where she's the same age as Logan. And I think, isn't Scott also a minor as well, or is this the original older Scott?
I think they're the original ones.
They're back to being the same age as Wolverine, or not same age as Wolverine, but like same, like, adult mature status where they're like in their 30s. It's like, so because I was like, oh, he's going with, I guess Wolverine's now a pedo now. He's going for the younger kids. It's like,
let's see what we got. Tellium saying I've read another book through Humanoids, which was quite good. And Maranya said I'm still batting 500. There's your sports ball reference, Eric. I heard Pat Gleason is on Spider-Man, so he does plan on checking it out. Let's see. Black Phoenix is saying I like Juggernaut too. My local comic book shop didn't pull the most recent issue for me. That's sad. I've still got it in my box because I was taking advantage of their back issue sale for an upcoming auction. And Eric can tell you I got some good big dogs this time around.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Let's see. Black Phoenix also. Hendrix, by Triangle. Back in my day, we saved that for fan fiction. I'm not straight, and I don't want every character I read about to be gay. Black Phoenix says. Friends, what are those? Yeah, right. I mean, well, I've been saying that about Harley and Poison Ivy. Hey, we're buddies. We're going shopping. You want to have sex? Okay. That happens all the time. To be honest, Wolverine and Cyclops hooking up has been a long time coming, says Joe Rogers. I don't know how you mean the coming. All right, so Moran is saying it's capture the rainbow flag. Well-known characters need to be taken over because name recognition. It's the same thing they do when they do the race swapping. Let's be honest, the X-Men were always pretty gay. Let's see, when do we get the retcon? Englentine, Breen, VENKMAN, by translate. Never happened, bro.
Are you asking to die? Just ask the question.
It's ignoring 80 to 90% to chase after the 10. Yes, exactly. When it fits everybody. All righty, so let's move on to the worst artist category.
All right, the nominees are Riley Rossmo for Harley Quinn. Let's be honest, anything else he drew. John Romita Jr., Action Comics. Greg Land, Symbiote Spider-Man. Daniel Warren Johnson, Dead Earth. And Lee Garbe, Captain Marvel. And the winner is Riley Rossmo.
As well as should be, sir. God, how does this guy keep getting work? How does this guy get work?
Raise your hand if you voted for somebody else, and I want to ask you why you did.
I don't know. Over the years I've run across artists and I've asked that about. And then I realized that they do have. If you want to read that, I'll hold my thought.
Yep. Thank you to Therio, God of Rage. I'm digging Thor, Savage Avengers, Conan, Juggernaut, and Strange Academy. That's just me, though. I kind of regret not jumping into Strange Academy. I've read a couple, and you know what? That's one of the books. Maybe I can make a 10. Are they still doing Conan books? I think if I throw in Conan and Star Wars, I may actually be able to get up to 10. Because Star Wars is generally good from Marvel as well. But the rest, so I don't know. Alrighty. I thought you might have something to say there.
No, I was in the middle of something. I knew if I didn't keep it in my head, it would pop back out.
Gotcha. Okay, jump in.
No, I said that over the years I found artists that I looked at and said, how the hell are these guys getting work? And then I'll bring them up and realize they do have fans. Like Humberto Ramos has fans.
Yeah.
I don't count myself among them, and the other people like Ed McGuinness, who I thought developed into somebody just drew, everybody looked like Lego people. But I've yet to find anybody, with the exception of Ash, and he was talking about the style of that one book, not in general, that has had anything good to say about Riley Rossmo. So to answer your question, I don't know.
I went on his Twitter feed, and yeah, people are like, oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. They're talking about Harley Quinn, the red mutton, this Harley Quinn. And they're like, oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Are you freaking seeing this? What glasses do I have to wear? It's got to be my glasses, right? What do I? It just, I don't know. It just, But yeah, Therio, God of Rage. The thing is I might go off on a title or so, but if you dig it, hey man, it's your money. It's good you like it, right? We're not gatekeepers here, man. Dig on what you like, and if your mic is good and we're railing off on a book that you like, of course not tonight because we're doing a show, but yeah, we'll welcome you on to speak your piece.
My only issue is with Strange Academy because continuity, because Doctor Strange was busy doing other else stuff, and all of a sudden he's supposed to be also running Academy.
Well, yeah, that's one of the things I said in my review of it. I said if this is a lot better if it's out of continuity. If it's its own thing, I think it's a lot better. If it's
Elseworld, yes, because they had Magic in their teaching, and she's like, wasn't she in a coma or somewhere else?
Yeah, but that's also what I say about the X-Men. You remove the X-Men from Marvel Universe, it immediately becomes a better book.
Oh yeah, it's an Elseworlds. Yeah, if you've never read X-Men before, it's great.
No, I mean all of the characters. The X-Men should not exist in the Marvel Universe. I know people want them to be in the MCU. No, keep them away because the whole mutant story works better if they are the only people with powers.
If you're first coming into comics and say you're just you're jimming your way through, it's great. You might like it until you start reading the back issue and then you realize, wait, this is on the X-Men. especially if you've seen the movies. As bad as they were still more X-Men than that Hickman's.
Well, you know what? One thing, and I'm going to borrow something you used to say a lot, E. If someone is saying that they're enjoying a bunch of titles from Marvel, that means that makes you the winner.
Yeah.
As I said, you're getting I said I'll bash on Marvel all day long, but I wish my biggest problem with Marvel was that I couldn't afford all the books I wanted from them.
Yeah.
Because it does no good for Marvel or DC to just go down the drain. And if it's just going down the drain for me, hopefully it's not going down the drain for everybody else, because I said I want this industry to thrive.
Yeah.
Because it's
and to explain it, what he was mentioning, I used to say, if you loved a book I hated, that means you won, because I spent $3.99 on it. You spent $3.99 on it. My money was wasted. Your money was well spent. And that's it's the same book, but that's the two reactions. So if you like a book somebody else does, yeah, you don't have to apologize. They wasted their money. You didn't.
There you go.
Alrighty. So Hendrick's saying, I'm not an artsy guy by any means, but I did enjoy Greg Land's art from the 90s, and I don't know how he made it. Yeah, we all know how he made it. Maran is saying she's now 6-5. Will a winning streak hold? Let's see. Savage Avengers still going on, says Zach. Black Phoenix says Riley Rosmo is going to be the regular Harley Quinn artist from now on. Well, there you go. You saved me $4 a month. Hey, we have at least 30 people in here right now and only 15 likes, says LK. Smash that like button. And yeah, chat. Even if it's to say hello, like if you've listened in the channel, you've never said hello before, you say hello. That way we know you're there. And it will help the algorithm.
Right.
All righty. Let's see. Zach Richmond saying, I love McGinnis art. He's the reason I stayed on Avengers as long as I did. And Rockin' Records is here. Humberto refuses to do cons. And we've got Jim Zub is the writer for Conan, kept it in Iberian Age. And I'm on the same page, though. I really only buy those books, unfortunately. Well, I know as a YouTuber that if I buy a book and I talk about how great it is, I'm going to get 100. Well, let's face it. These days I'm shadow banned. I'm going to get 52 views. But if I rail off on a comic book, then yes, a bad book is going to get a lot more views than a good book. So occasionally I do buy the bad ones.
Well, the good thing about Conan is that if it's doing well, it's the only Conan book out right now in print. Where if you're reading Red Sonja, there's like 4 or 5, and you're lucky if you get at least one good book for Red Sonja right now.
Ingleton has a good point. I always thought it was strange. Hate the mutants, but love Spidey and Cap. Yeah, really. Now if I wrote the X-Men, actually I should actually do that one. But one of the things, if I wrote the X-Men, one of the things I would have it, if we do have Spider-Man and Fantastic Four, they would have come from humans trying to counteract and combat the mutants. So there would have been experiments with the blood and so forth and so on, kind of like the super soldier serum. That would have been done through mutant blood. Therefore, they could create super soldiers to fight off mutants if they had to. That would be how there would be other superheroes in the world. All righty. So next category. What are we on? Oh, worst writer. And the nominees are Brian Michael Bendis for the Superman books, Tom King for Strange Adventures, Vita Ayala for, what was she doing again?
Bond.
James Bond. Kelly Thompson. You got to remind me on these things. And J.J. Abrams for Spider-Man. J.J. Abrams and Son for Spider-Man. And the winner is Brian Michael Bendis.
Yes.
It's another one of those categories where it's like the nominee is because this boy got them all. The next one down is literally a third of the votes that that Brian Michael Bendis got. Serious.
What's the next one?
Tom King. with 4.
That's white privilege.
There you go. Tom King, and then Kelly Thompson and J.J. Abrams tied, and the one that got the least was Vita Ayala, which I'm only thinking you guys have not read a Vita Ayala book.
Yeah, because
No one has.
like I said, I'm mad that she's even on the freaking book for James Bond because they're making James Bond so freaking woke in the comic books, and so they're just ruining him.
Mm-hmm.
But with Bendis, you're supposed to be writing Superman as being inspirational, but you're not.
And Vita Ayala managed to turn a James Bond book into a self-insert.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
The main character is a black lesbian.
Yeah, I can't write any other characters. I need to put this character in there. The writers were getting it.
Is it a black lesbian trapped inside a white guy's body?
No. She's the main. I mean, James Bond is the sidekick in his own book.
Oh, is he really? I only read like one issue, and I was done. I got halfway through.
Hey, what's up?
Let's go outside.
Yeah,
let's go potty.
I know. You need to be quiet. Yeah. All righty. Here, get on the hat. You're afraid. He's afraid of the hat. Watch. All right. Okay, go. Go. Not there. Go other places. Here, come here. This is, by the way, yeah, I apologize to everybody who's new and you end up hearing the bird. When the family had to move in, Gail insisted her bird show up here. I like him, though. He is a pain in the butt when I'm trying to record, though.
Yeah, when he's not next to the microphone, it's great.
I know. I put my hand over it to try. Hold on just a sec. Let's see. The next one, Breen.
Yep.
Why don't you take the next one, and I'll take the bird out.
All right. The next category, Worst Independent Comic. The nominees are Alienated, James Bond, Ignited, Humanity First, Crossover, and Loud. And the winner is Ignited.
What?
That's not a surprise. And I think, again, I don't think anybody read any of these books as much as got their information from videos they saw. And anybody that follows Just Some Guy, which is probably everybody in this chat, he did some of the most scathing reviews of this book that you felt like you had read it. And Zach did videos about it as well. I'll be honest, I've never heard of Loud. Alienated, he did some great videos on that too, but yeah, it just seemed like Ignited was, just it was just fundamentally flawed. When the terrorists are the good guys, it was the upside down. The cops were the bad guys. The people that acted rationally were treated as the villains.
I never read it, so I just voted James Bond again.
Well, like I said, there was a lot to choose from in this. I said, but most of what I knew about any of these books, I got from watching videos talking about these books.
He's dead. All righty.
Only one good wish.
We crowned Ignited as the worst independent comic.
As well it deserved. Okay, so Ignited, let's see what it got 11. And then the one who got the least was Alienated and Loud. Excuse me, I ran upstairs.
So James Bond came in second?
Yeah, with 8.
Oh, so too far off.
Yeah. All righty, next up, Marvel Comics. And the nominees are Captain America, X-Men, Iron Man 2020, Indigenous Voices, and Captain Marvel. And the winner is, to the surprise of no one, Indigenous Voices.
Dang it.
And dang it, what did you want to win?
Captain America?
Yeah, it was pretty bad, especially with the Ladies of Liberty.
Oh my gosh, it's horrible. It's still horrible.
For those of you who don't know, the Ladies of Liberty are the wives of the forefathers who did all of the fighting and all of the behind the scenes stuff that the men didn't know about, but led to the United States becoming free.
And Peggy Carter's still, for some whatever reason, still in the main universe. As far as she's still young, she hadn't gone back. You think we're like, well, you're causing a paradox here, being here. You're supposed to go back to your own timeline. The Red Skull is back alive because he's brought back through seeing crap or weird.
But Indigenous Voices,
Oh,
that is the winner. It was bad, like we talked about before. Absolutely horrible book. And
it's only one book. Captain America has like several.
That's what that's what LK has said. It's 12 months of suck.
Come on.
Yeah.
I can't help but feel the X-Men kind of feel slighted right now.
I know. Yeah. So, hey, we were supposed to win everything. But the X-Men was the second best of the group. Not the worst. The worst, of course, being Indigenous Voices, and then Captain Marvel, Captain America, then the X-Men, and the best was Iron Man 2020. He's like, hey, I'm the best of the worst. Woo! Yeah, it's ridiculous. Marvel's ridiculous these days.
Boy, Iron Man 2020 has gotten a pretty good pass on these so far.
It's good to be nominated.
Yeah, it's kind of because it's the Susan Lucci of this award show.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
These last three categories, I'm really curious to see what is the winner.
Yeah. For those of you who really wanted Captain America, under this black table I've got next to me, I do have. Yeah.
You have Cosmic Cube?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. No, I'll just barf that up. So, what do you have for us, Eric? What's next?
Worst DC comic book: Aqualad, You Brought Me the Ocean; Superman, Legion of Superheroes; Batgirl 50, The Other History of the DC Universe. And the winner is Batgirl 50.
Yes.
Yeah. It's another one where it's not really that close. It was not. It was not that close. But by the guys, you saw that wonderful Batwoman TV show commercial. I know you're like, wow, now I wish I bought my issue of Batgirl number 50. Goodness gracious, that book was bad. Even that one scene where they're introducing this character who I'm thinking, who the f is wanting this book so much? I got to get it on eBay quickly. But every scene is just like, I wanted to smack back. I wanted her to live in real life just so I could beat the out of her just for a little bit.
Maranya?
Batgirl, so she'd probably kick my ass. But damn it, I would get in a hit or two.
Maranya, did you admit that you're still reading the Can't Will Iron Man? She says, I'm still reading. She says, Zach, LK is reading Captain Manville like I'm reading Iron Man to save everyone else from doing it.
Shinosky says Batgirl 50 made me want her to get paralyzed again. I've been wanting that since the New 52. She was a better character as Oracle than she's ever been as Batgirl, and there are so many other good Batgirls that could take her place. It just it doesn't make sense. But yeah, and then the next one was Superman. Obviously, nobody cares too much about Bendis. And the next one was Aqualad Brought Me an Ocean of Sperm. So, and it was tied with the other DC history.
When did Mary get pregnant in the Aquaman runs?
All she got to do is swim around. I mean, that's
I know. I'm just saying, when did they first acknowledge that she was pregnant? Because I don't read Aquaman, it just seems like it's like, what did they just do?
Oh no! In the comics, she got pregnant. She already had the baby, as a matter of fact.
Well, yeah, she has a baby, yeah, but I'm just saying, was it like rebirth?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guy from Red Bank, but if you see the art in Aqualad, you brought me the ocean.
Yeah,
it looks that way, and
that's gross.
They are trying to make. I guess they're trying to make it look like they're underwater, but all the imagery and the dialogue and everything. Yeah, it's wow. It's bad. There's more jizz in that than a gym sock. It is really, really.
You want to be
bad.
grossed out? Look at how much a blue whale produces when it's reproducing.
All righty,
Salty.
so I do not want to see that. That Aqualad book was just gross and not appealing, says Shinosuke. That's the way I got it. And mainly it's the art for that. I can't believe there hasn't been an ableist campaign against Batgirl. How dare they take her out of the wheelchair? It's offensive to people in the wheelchairs. That's one way to look at it. All righty, gang. So next up, we've got the award that I added in. I like to do this occasionally, come up with some weird award just based on what I've seen in the last 6 months. Like, what is the trend that like maybe next time it might, because of course, you know, we'll have another Voices. It'll be during Black History Month. Maybe it'll be like the most pandering book or something like that. But today, because of all we saw with the Future State, I just had to come up with this, and it was the Failing Upward Award. Actually, I called it the Riley Rosmo Failing Upward Award because this guy, he's horrible. Now, I'm not an artist. This guy's horrible. And he just keeps getting job after job. So I originally called it the Riley Rosmo Failing Upward Award. And the nominees are Vita Ayala for, of course, her past work and then getting jobs in the Future State. Mariko Tamaki, who brought us such gems as She-Hulk, which led to her getting Detective Comics. Brian Michael Bendis, the man's made a career failing upward. Riley Rosmo, who once again, no matter how horrible the art is, I guess he's always on time because he just keeps getting work and more work. And Zoe Quinn, who literally slept herself to fame and is now a comic book writer, apparently. And the winner is, and I got to say, it has to be recency bias, but Mariko Tamaki.
Yes.
Eric, you were the person who loved the She-Hulk book she did. What is it about Mariko Tamaki's writing that draws you in as a person?
Well, I try to read her books when I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Then I know I'll get plenty of ideas on what to have for dinner.
Yeah. You know, I specifically, and I always do bring this up, but I specifically loved the first 6 issues of her run on She-Hulk, where Jennifer Walters walked from her apartment to the coffee shop, and then she walked from the coffee shop to her work, and then home from work to the coffee shop, and then she sat on a bench drinking coffee. That was riveting. And what and to think also, every last 2 pages, we got teased like maybe the She-Hulk was waiting to rage out. And we found out the next issue, all She-Hulk wanted was another cup of coffee.
Well, in her defense, she didn't have the trope that Byrne used where she could go from panel to panel to get from scene to scene.
Yeah.
She had no choice but to do it that way.
Yeah.
It just takes longer.
And you know what? And this is what makes Tamako Maraka, whatever her name is. This is what makes her absolutely brilliant. See, unlike the James Bond version, I cannot talk tonight. Unlike the John Byrne version of Sensational She-Hulk, Mariko Tamaki's version of the She-Hulk also wasn't burdened by personality or dialogue, interesting characters, or anything. So I think that is the brilliance of Mariko Tamaki's writing, is that she can strip it down to the bare bones stuff. She basically tells you the story of what happens in between the exciting things. And not a lot of people are even brave enough to do that, Eric.
Did you see
and that's something that this industry has been lacking for as long as I've been reading comics. And thank goodness someone has finally come to fill that void.
Yes.
Did you guys see the next issue preview for Detective Comics with Mariko Tamaki? Batman goes up to a vending machine and the candy bar gets stuck.
Batman goes up to the vending
Will he
machine.
get the candy bar?
Yeah. You know what? I can actually see the last. I can see the last page, the last panel of that book. His fingers reaching out, but you don't know is he going to hit A1 or A2. Yeah. That's a Mariko Tamaki. Let's see.
And he's using his American Express bat card.
Now,
Zach is saying, is that because I'm not Starfire? Mariko Tamaki ruined She-Hulk. She's a dude now. Undead Quinn is saying, I read the She-Hulk book. What a drag. LK says, I was going to vote for Ayala, but when she got the detective book and the pub for I Am Not Starfire, I had to switch it to her. Yeah, she's definitely going places. I voted Zoe Blow. Supervillain is robbing a bank. I'm busy eating. Yeah, well, that's when she gets up and she walks towards the bank, but on the way is a hot dog cart. She yells at him for serving meat and then goes to the falafel stand. Let's see.
What? Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm back to batting 500. Y'all don't know what the worst really is. I left. You're welcome. LK. Bendis ruined Superman and the Legion of Superheroes, and somehow he got Justice League of America. How does he keep getting work?
Or imagine this, a 2-page spread. Batman's just eating Cheerios. And he goes from panel to panel.
Mariko Tamaki wrote the Eyes Wide Shut of comic books. It stresses Batman out that he couldn't get his favorite candy bar.
And they make it worse.
I promise this will never happen to anybody else's parents.
And they make it, just to add insult to injury, she has him where he's out of milk, so he's using like Kool-Aid or orange juice.
I promise nobody else will ever run out of milk again.
And, yeah, just to be fair, I said the food trope. One of the books you showed me tonight, E, there was a running gag in the early issues of this title that involved Luke Cage trying to get a drink out of a vending machine that was in the lobby of the theater where his office was. And he probably tried 15 times in the first 25 issues and was never able to successfully get his beverage. And that was that trope done well. Mariko Tamaki shows the other way to do things like that.
Oh my gosh. Mariko Tamaki pulls a Bendis, has all the Robins all come together, and then they fight crime, and then they just do eating food at the end.
Yeah.
No, they all go to Red Robin.
Table for Batman.
All righty. Catwoman, what's wrong?
Dinner party for Batman? Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, all of these deserve to be here. It could have won, but it did go to Mariko Tamaki. Then Brian Michael Bendis was next, and then Zoe Quinn, Riley Rosmo, and the one that got the least was Vita Ayala. All righty, let's wrap the awards part of this up there, Eric.
Worst comic book of the year: Ignited, Superman, Iron Man 2020, Batgirl 50, Captain America. And the winner is Batgirl 50.
Batgirl number 50, the number one worst comic. Now, I got to tell you, though, everybody spread the love on this one. This was a very close race up for a while. It was. But Batgirl 50 ended up eking it out. It was such a cluster, too. What a horrible, horrible way to end a series. I mean, for Christ's sake, she yells at Batman for not helping Gotham. The fuck is that? Seriously. It's just horrible, horrible badness all the way through. It was just god awful. And then you get to the end where she's like, and I've got to tell my boyfriend who I am and that I'm sorry for it. And then it's just a blame game. She goes in and rails off on him, talks about his flaws, and gets out. Shut the yeah. I only overread that first half. I never went past that first part. I always said I'll go back, but I never went back to it.
You can never go back.
I don't want to. It was horrible. We talk about it because it's even that book is even more memorable than The Ladies of Liberty and Captain America. That book is even more memorable than anything like most of us haven't read Ignited. We probably saw just some guy's video. What Superman, I got to admit, I don't like how Brian Michael Bendis treats the characters, but I have read some that were definitely better than Batgirl. Iron Man 2020 is horrible, but I would have put the actual title on it because I don't know who that guy is. It's not Tony Stark.
Iron Man is literally the Susan Lucci of these awards. If he gets nominated, he almost never gets a vote.
Yep.
Right, he's a kidding me over there. Hey, I voted for Iron Man in question number 2. But this last one, I disagree. I see Captain America. Because he's supposed to be patriotic. Batgirl 50 was a more fun read than Captain America was.
Yeah, I voted for Captain America.
I voted for Batgirl 50. It was the worst thing I've read this year.
Are you kidding me? We had fun razzing on it. I can't razz on a Captain America book because there's nothing to razz about.
You give me that Book of Liberty, that Lady Liberty book, and I'll tear into it.
I'll hold you to it.
Yeah, it was not good.
It didn't qualify for Sour Capes, let's say that.
And Hendricks is right. In the comic book in Batgirl 50, after Batgirl told Batman that he wasn't doing enough for Gotham, she throws another hissy. Because all throughout, Batgirl's dialogue, I don't care what she says, it was all... That's it. That is all she said throughout the entire book.
You guys,
then she runs off. She gets on her motorbike, and Nightwing comes in and tries to reason with her, and she goes, and then drives off.
You only bring up one story out of the 3-story freaking book. The last one, where they're fighting near all the cases of Ebola and all that stuff. Don't worry, I'm gonna punch you and knock you over into the cabinets. I'm like, you just ended the world.
Yeah, that was the middle story. The last one, they stay in their Dungeons and Dragons characters.
Oh yeah.
As they're busting up a child trafficking ring.
That was Harley Quinn in Birds of Prey book, right? Towards the end.
Oh yeah, for some reason my camera is
Batgirl and her amazing friends.
Yeah. Oh, I think they're following what Jack Nicholson said in As Good as It Gets. How do you write women so well? I think of a man, and I take away reason and responsibility. Then there you go. Yeah. But there you go, guys. That is the GABBY Awards. Thanks a lot for participating, and thank you very much for voting and everything. Once again, when we do the spirits and everything like that, those are always harder, by the way. We always the thing is when you're thinking about the bad books, one of the easiest things is we all kind of rally around what the bad books are. We understand that we all agree that these are the bad books of the year, but everybody has their favorite. So it's harder to come up with the good books because what's the best miniseries would be different for Breen, myself, VENKMAN, and everybody. And we end up with it's a lot harder to come up with the good books than it is the bad books. But
like I said, the reason I never voted for the Indigenous Voices because that's the easy vote.
The what?
The Indigenous Voices. That's the easy vote. You take that away, it's much harder to vote.
Okay.
And I think that it's harder to vote for the best books because we all of us that do this, we spend a decent amount of time on YouTube.
Yeah.
And we feel like we know some of these books. Like I voted for Ignite while you were putting the bird out. Said I didn't read the book, but after watching all of Just Some Guy's videos, I felt like I had.
Yeah. So you
I get more familiar with it, but nobody really does serious praising the good stuff for obvious reasons. So we seem to have a better idea of what the bad stuff is, even if we haven't read them.
Well, when it comes to that kind of thing, I blame you. I blame you, not just you, but everybody in the chat. I blame because, in all honesty, if I do a video, and I said this earlier, if I do a video, this book is awesome, check it out. That video is not getting watched. If I put out a video, this made me lose my bowels into my mouth, and I like the taste over looking at this comic book. Then you're going to want to know why this had that kind of reaction.
If you want to put on your next video, I'll just say like Mariko Tamaki is the best writer ever.
Changed my mind. Hendrick says, "Yep, I have a preference for Superman and Batman Robin books, so I don't readily see the other stories that might be really good outside of the characters I want to read about." And that's why it is kind of harder to pick out the good books. So we might do the Spirit Awards in a different kind of format this time around, where we're more conversational about it. But we might actually do it this way, because I do want to get you guys involved. To me, the big point of all of this is to have the viewers involved in choosing the winners. It's not just these are because I could do a top 10 list. So I could do and I probably will do at the end of the year. I'll do a best comics, my own personal top 10 and worst 10. But it's important to me to get you guys, your voice in on this. What are you saying, Venkman?
I get a prediction for that I'm Not Starfire book. What's going to be about? I'm probably not going to read it. For those of you in the chat who probably might take a gander at it, or maybe watch a YouTuber who's just going to rant and rave over it. My prediction is that she's just going to be self-insert Noriko Tamaki in there, and the whole book's going to basically be like, I'm the fat girl at the bar that was getting hit on by the guys, and here comes my mother and just steals all the people away from me.
No.
Because she's beautiful looking and they don't want a fat woman. That's what it's going to be like, because she hates beautiful women.
Okay, so let's see. You need to rethink your life to find Jesus or something. I mean, you're wasting your time on small stream complaining about stuff you don't like, says Alexander Bevix. Doomsday Clock is awful. I hate Jeff Johns so much. I've never met Jeff Johns, so I can't really say if I like him or not. And he hasn't said anything stupid to me on Twitter. So
hasn't blocked me.
Yeah. So I actually don't know if I like him, but I can tell you I didn't like Doomsday Clock.
I only read the people that block me on Twitter, man. Dan Slott, I'm reading all his books.
Oh, there you go. Now, Alexander, no, it didn't. That's a dumbass thing to say. Be smart. Be better. Be better than that. Because that's just stupid. I mean, obviously everybody likes what they like. They don't like what they don't like. But that's a moron thing to say. That's you know what? And even if it's true with what Shinosuke is saying and you're a troll, then I'm going to say get the fuck off my channel, because I prefer a better troll. I want somebody who is better than that. To say any title has ruined comics, come on, be better. Alexander, I'm going to give you one more chance. You can troll, but be better than that. Come on. Marvel is trash and they ruin comics and movies. Why? See, you're just saying stuff. So you got one more chance. Just one more fucking chance.
He says he's not a troll. He changes.
Come on in. Okay, then you got to say why. Because you're coming off like a troll and not even a good one.
Show your work.
Yeah. Let's see. Almighty Jack saying, if something killing the children doesn't win a Spirit Award, I'll riot. That is such a great book. It really is such a great book. Bee butter. Common America should sweep the Spirit Award, says LK. Let's see. But this whole thing, and by the way, to Alexander and to, if you're just listening, if you're new, I've been like that since the beginning. If you remember, Eric, even in the beginning, or in Venkman, you've been around for this, and a lot of you in the chat have been around long enough to know that I always hated that. Oh, this ruined comics. That ruined comics. Comics aren't fucking ruined because one title. Comics are fucking ruined because the social justice warrior leaning, the woke crowd managed to get in power. Yeah, okay, but that's got some backing to it. But just because one book is bad, are you telling me because Doomsday Clock is bad that made Daredevil bad? No, it didn't. So that one, it's just a bunch of
I can think of one thing that came what's come the closest to ruining comics: cover prices.
They
keep going up.
I know, right? Because after a while, you're just like, I don't want to spend the money.
I'll just say this: comics are not ruined because comics in general, you have back issues.
I have another joke. What do you get when you cross a socially inept, mentally ill individual with a society? Had to take off for a second, but I want to say I didn't make a single stop. This deals. I can't read it, but there you go. Even though Iron Man should have won Fall from Grace, says Luke John. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Like I said, your whole thing went over my head at the beginning. So kudos to you. I like England team to do a collaboration with Comics with Bueller. He was actually on the show
Friday night.
Yeah, he was on Friday night. But yeah, he's welcome here. I don't know if he would ever.
Oh, no, it wasn't Friday.
It was Monday.
Monday. Yeah, Friday was
he was down here for a convention, and we met. He's a nice guy, tall guy, 6'4", but he was a nice guy, and he showed up. He's a really cool guy. But he's always welcome back. Let's see. I am telling you people about the dangers of ruining great work in fiction. Alan Moore now hates superheroes and comics, and it's all thanks to Jeff John. You all ruined his life. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's sitting on a mountain of cash right now, by the way, feeling like his life is ruined.
Are we talking about Alan Moore?
Yeah.
Mountain of blow, probably, but
yeah, probably, yeah.
Turn that mountain of cash into a mountain of blow.
Yeah, in his dark castle, worshiping snakes.
He's got medicine.
I promise you, no comic book reader has ruined his life. It was being bitten too many times by a snake while doing cocaine. Seduction of the Innocent ruined comic books for a while. Oh, okay, yeah. Frederick Wortham, Black Phoenix, yeah. Frederick Wortham. Actually, my brother did a video for. It's still up. My brother did a video on Frederick Wortham. That was one thing he wanted to do. When he was here on the channel, he had two passion projects. One was a video about Little Nemo, the character, Little Nemo in Slumberland. And the other one was the Frederick Wortham. I'm the one that pushed him to do the Jack Kirby stuff. So he actually did that. So, yeah. Cool. I like Bueller. Let's see. Hey, Guy from Red Bank. It's the second time being here. All right. If that's your belief, then fine, but don't go raining on people's parades if you're not going to have solid proof. Yeah, if everybody's got an opinion, they don't like the books. All I ask is, tell us why. Stand up, yeah.
Let's just say this book sucks, explain to me why you hated that book, and don't just give me reasons about everything apart from the book. Tell me what's in the book that you didn't like.
Yeah. Let's see. It's just a video game, or music can be continuously enjoyed for many hours than a comic for the same price. Comics are dead going forward unless they make major changes. Says that bro are talking about the prices. I know, right? We, Breen and I tend to get those 80 pages, the special for Green Lantern, the special for
they're like $10, or sometimes they're down to $6, and you're still. I was like, okay, now am I getting 80 pages for $6? Or am I, then that sounds like a great deal, but then look who's writing on it. It's like, I'm still getting ripped off.
Yep.
Yeah, like I said, if you're going to pay the price of 80-page giants now, I need more than a Tamaki story, a Visaggio story, an Ayala story.
I will point out the Wolverine, the second issue, the black and white and red, even though I think there was a Vita Leia on there, and then the Claremont, all three stories were solid. I like them.
Comic Works picked up a 1983 Hawkeye #1 for $4. I found one too. Hold on a second.
Yeah, but that's
great series, Jimmy.
That's more the issue than anything else is the price.
And you stumbled onto a good point there, Venk, when you said that the book you just read, the Vita Ayala story, was good. But you can't. Those are so few and far between.
It is,
Even if she's going to do it, she's chased off so much of her audience that see her name, they won't go any farther.
Yeah, I know.
I went to pull two books off the shelf. I'm a very happy guy because Quartz brought up the Hawkeye. Found it. All righty. I lost. I didn't know where it was. It was actually sandwiched between a couple of books I left there, so it wouldn't get messed up. I actually found this for $2.
Cool. Is that an old trade of that?
Yeah, that's the original trade paper.
Whoa. I've never seen that.
Yeah, I mean it is not in the best of condition, but it's only $2.
Brain's salivating.
But
Well,
I
no,
did.
I'm
But I
just there
did
to keep
spend,
track
I
of
did
that.
spend $4 at the table. So
Oh, it's not just me. Yeah, your camera's out of focus again.
yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's messing up.
I thought it was
don't-
StreamYard.
Yeah, let me turn it off for a little bit. I don't know what's going on with it. There you go.
We can still tell what books you have. It's just that they're fuzzy.
Yeah, it's I'm on StreamYard, and StreamYard looks all right, but
Like I'm watching through YouTube as well. That's why I was asking.
yeah, it is really weird on YouTube, isn't it? That is bizarre. Why is YouTube treating me like this? What I do to you, YouTube? What did I do to you? That's
So
one
you do look clearer on the phone.
yeah, guys. If here, we could share screen, right? Okay, this is what it looks like on StreamYard where we're watching. So it's clear.
Yeah, that's just when you.
And I was holding up the Fantastic Four versus the X-Men, and the Hawkeye. This is the original trade paperback of that 4-issue miniseries, and this is one of my pride and joys. The Alice Cooper first appearance. There we go. Not a big dog I will be selling anytime soon. However, for those, I might be doing an auction on Tuesday. It's going to be a one boxer, but as you guys know, I'm trying anyway. But I did manage to get a big dog. That's Spider-Man 47, and if you look,
Craven the Hunter.
Yeah, everybody look into your phone so you can get a clear picture of it.
Yep.
well, I'm sharing the screen, so hopefully, okay. Yeah, issue number 47. Yeah, and we got this one as well. So, yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Now, what I thought was funny was those are the big ones, but the ones that excited Breen was this one, the origin of the JSA.
I'm outraged.
That is actually hard to find because of that cover. Yeah, and then I also got this one right here, the dollar size, and one of the Christmas comics I'm going to be doing this week is Creeps magazine. All right, we'll be choosing the winner of the last one, and I'll announce it in the next video. But there you go. And let's see, what was it? It was the the first drawing will be for the Hitman comic, and then all you got to do is be a subscriber over at Old Man Comics. Watch the video. I ask a question at the end, and just answer the question. Be a subscriber and answer the question, and you could win whatever comic book I'm reviewing. There you go. All right.
And Burr's got jokes tonight. Says Professor Pixel got you a camera, bro.
I'm sorry, guys. I am so sorry, man.
It just went like that before. It was fine, and all of a sudden, just like so as we got to like the last question, it all of a sudden just started going fuzzy.
Yeah, it sucks.
I thought it was StreamYard because StreamYard sometimes does it to me where it starts loading you guys, and then I'm the only one having issues. So.
Oh, and since they're a good crowd here, if you don't mind, Digital Comics has a massive sale of Marvel Masterworks. Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Comixology.
You told us about that, and I'm like, oh, really? What are they? Oh my gosh, yes.
$1 or $2.
Here's the thing: if you're like for a YouTuber, this is really good because you can play the comic book, and yeah, I like that a lot better because that's a lot quicker to do than it is to. Oh, goody, he's back.
He was making the bunny panic.
He was making the bunny panic.
He's making us panic.
I know, right? No, he ain't. No, he's yours. Have fun. You look like the bus driver from South Park.
Crab apple tree.
She's got on the head. There you go.
I wouldn't trust him on my bare head.
Nah, he's fine. And besides, if anything, it'll wipe off. All righty, gang. So there you go. We might be doing a one, like I said, a one box auction maybe Tuesday. Join us then. Tomorrow's We've Got Issues, so fingers crossed we'll be able to do that. And that's my daughter. I can be rude to her. So yeah, join us for that. Anything else?
Yes, there are a lot of people whose names I don't see in here a lot, and yeah, come back and join us tomorrow night.
Yeah, and for the auctions, everything, man. Reading Ghost Rider though, the Danny Ketch stuff, art looks rad. I did the first appearance of Ghost Rider over at Old Man Comics. Yeah, I'm shilling that channel, man. I am at 850. I was trying to get to 1,000 before the end of the year. Venkman and Rob and me are having a race with me to see who could get to 1,000 first. So there you go.
Your camera's back to normal.
All right, cool deal.
Now you can show the books.
Yeah, now I can show the books. Yay! We've got the $1 giant Wonder Woman, which is harder to find than normal. Also,
yes, it is.
Yeah,
I couldn't even see the Nazi symbol before. It was so fuzzy.
Yeah, and then Justice Society fights Hitler. Oh my gosh, outrage. We have, what number is this? Detective Comics 332. Awesome. And then, of course, Spider-Man number 47. In pretty darn good shape. So anyway, and for those true nerds out there, Camelot 3000.
How many you got of those?
It's the entire series.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was saying there was another one in there that another one of those, not giant size but extra size DC book from '77 that is worth throwing up there.
Oh,
as a little preview.
The comic book, the Christmas comic I'll be talking about. You talking about this one?
No, I was talking about the DC special. There was another one that you got also, I think.
Did I? I don't
think there was a third one.
No.
Like the Batman, Dead Man, Sergeant Rock, or something like that.
Oh yeah, that was in there as well. It's buried. Oh, here it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I said. I mean, I mark out for those every time I see them.
Yeah. All righty. So yeah, we're gonna be doing that. I think Tuesday. So hopefully you guys could join us. That Moranya is reminding us that we had such a great time doing the Charlie Brown Christmas special that we're going to get back together and do the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. You know, I kind of want to do Cornelius. Is that okay? I kind of want to do Yukon Cornelius. Anyway, we'll talk about that. You guys have a great time. Thanks for joining us for the GABBY Awards. It's always a lot of fun. Stay tuned for the spirits that probably will carry over to the end of the year, maybe the beginning of next, but that'll give us time to read some more good comics. And as always, thank you very, very much for your time. Thank you very, very much for watching. Have a good night.